what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and I'm here to serve you a little bit of literary goodness. I don't know when this video is going to go up, but it'll go up eventually. Today I wanted to bring you my January wrap-up, my first wrap-up of 2018, and I'm super excited about it because I read a lot of good books and I actually got to read books this month, which was cool. That sometimes doesn't happen with college, but not this month. So I have a couple of books to talk to you guys about, and yeah, so let's dive on into this wrap up. First of all, I came to college, which is big, lots more class reading, less time fun reading, more time writing this semester because I'm in creative writing. So I've made a lot of progress on like the poetry collection and not really on fiction yet because we're not there in the semester. And just like a lot of literary things. Yeah, working back on the zine for stylists, which has been really, really fun. I started a job at a library, which is another literary adventure, and I just got offered a new job at a new bookstore, which I'm also really excited about. Yeah. Lots of good things in January happening. But I did read a lot of really good books, particularly when I wasn't in school. Before I came back to school, I read a lot of good books. So I obviously don't have all of the books that I read in January with me, but I will insert a little picture about here of the cover so you can see what I read. And let's get into it, the books that I read. You know, January is the time of year for new beginnings, new year, new you, if you will. New goals, new books coming out, new series starting, new things to do, new hobbies. And that was really what my 2018 start was. My new January was really me trying new things and starting new practices and starting at the year fresh with some great reading, setting my goals and like achieving them and making them happen, putting myself on a really productive track for 2018, which I was super happy with. And I read a lot, and I had a really great start to my reading year. My goal was 50 books this year, not this month. So what, that's like roughly one book a week, and I did 5 books in January, so I'm like a little bit ahead of schedule, because there's only 4 weeks in January, which is good, because I didn't read a book last week, but like, yeah, it works out for me. I had a really great start to this month and I can't wait to share it with you guys, and I hope you guys had just as productive as a start to your 2018 and that you guys are having a great 2018 so far as well, because I really am. So first thing I read, right here, is The Prince in Disguise by Stephanie Kate Strom, which I will link my review for down below. It was a 5-star read for me, a YA realistic fiction romance set in Scotland in wintertime, and it was so beautiful and cute, and I loved it so very much. The second book that I read in January was also right here, was The Bells by Danielle Clayton, a YA fantasy kind of world thing, new world, really good book. I had some thoughts on it. Some things were a little bit of a flop for me, but I did really like the story. I think I gave it a 4-star review. That review will also be linked down below for y'all. What else did I read? Did I only read 4 books? No. Okay. So then next I read As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. The review just went up last week. I will link that. All of these book reviews will be linked down below. We'll just get that out of the way. Which was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, or not retelling, a twisted telling. Is much different from the movie, but it is fundamentally based off of the movie and then changes that storyline in a really interesting way that I really enjoyed. That was a 5-star review for me as well. I read that while I was in Disney World, which was extra fun, and I literally could not stop reading it, and I can't wait to read the other 2. I believe it's Sleeping Beauty and Aladdin that are also in that series, the twisted tellings. So yeah, really liked that one. Then I also read, what else did I read? Oh, I read Zenith by Sasha Osberg and Lindsay Cummings, which was a huge release this month. Super good, and I had a lot of thoughts on these. I was not very hopeful in the beginning. I tried to read it twice. I had to restart it over twice because I first time couldn't get into it, second time it took me a while to get into it, but by like the last half the story really picked up. That was a YA sci-fi series. Well, not series, it's only the first book. A YA fantasy, no, not even, a YA sci-fi book, new release that just came out, that follows an all-female space pirate crew through their journey into space to kind of redeem their reputations and save the universe that they live in from a really evil queen that is trying to start a rebellion and take over the intergalactic space system, which is a little crazy. But I had a lot of thoughts on that book. It was a debut for Sasha, and not Lindsay's first book, but their first debut together. It had been released as a novella earlier in like 2016, and then they decided to turn it into a full-fledged novel. They just went on tour. I will link the tour documentary as well down below that Lindsay put together. A lot going on there. But yeah, I had some thoughts, so definitely check out my review. But I think I gave that book either a 3.5 or a 4-star review. I did not make it a staff pick at work, unfortunately. And what else? Turns out I did read 5 books. I just couldn't remember the last one. I read The Art of Brave, Disney's Art of Brave. They have all of these books for the movies that they've done, and they show you kind of the concept art behind it and how the story came to be into a full fleshed out movie. The concept art, the like travel inspiration pictures that they took, the sketches, like how a character started and ended, and all of the different stages and transitions it took between them. It's kind of like a coffee table book, a little bit of a more on the picture book side, but I read it before going to Disney World because Brave is one of my favorite Disney movies, and it was so good. It made me just love the story even more to learn the background of it and how its like director and designer kind of came up with the concept and how hard it was for her to pitch this idea for people because they didn't want to do another princess movie. All sorts of things that were super good and I really enjoyed, and I just really liked The Art of Brave, and that made me love Brave even more. The pictures were so beautiful. I really want to study abroad in Scotland, so seeing the like inspiration pictures of Scotland was super interesting, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave that book a 5-star as well because I'm a sucker for Brave. But January was also a really literature-packed month. I also just remembered that I was featured on a podcast this month, the I believe Chapters podcast, I think it was. All that will be linked down below again. So yeah, I will definitely leave all the information. I was interviewed about my origins in reading and my reading habits and things like that. Talked about the blog. The blog changed this month. It went from a website to a YouTube channel. We've kind of grown a lot as a, I don't want to say it's a brand because we're not a brand, but like as an entity, we changed a lot and kind of became more regularized. We started Makeup Mondays in January. A lot of really great things happened in January. I read some cool books for school, like, I don't know where it is, but What It Is by Linda Berry. I kind of got back into older poetry, like William Wordsworth, Blake, Shakespeare, my man, Sir Philip Sidney, which I've been so in contemporary poetry that it was nice to get a break back into the older stuff that is like very literarily dense and makes you feel intelligent when you read it. So if I were to pick my favorite book of the month so far, well, not so far because the month is over, but my favorite book that I read that month, in the month of January, I would have to say it's The Prince in Disguise by Stephanie Kate Strom because it was so freaking good. If you have not read it yet, please go get it from your library or your local bookstore. Go find it somewhere and read it because not only is the cover super cute, the concept is so cute, the author is such a sweet person. I really enjoyed it. It's my book of the month. It was so good. I flew through it. I read it in less than 24 hours because it was literally just that good, and I couldn't stop reading. I needed to know what happened. I loved Dylan so much as a character, and I really want there to be a sequel. I want more of Dylan and Jamie. You are going to love them. I promise. Their first kiss scene was featured in my makeup book tag because it was such a cute first kiss scene. You need to read this book. It came out this past December, so it's fairly recent. Go read it. Let me know what you think. And I also, one more book that I started reading but did not finish, I'm really struggling to read this one, is City of Bones. I was trying to do the Emma books, Emma Giordano, like reread of the Shadowhunter universe, like all of their literature throughout the year, and I was trying to keep on schedule, so I was supposed to read City of Bones. Read like half of it. I can't get through it. I don't know why. But I'm reading some good things in February, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. So yeah, but that is it for this recap of my January, I guess, my January wrap up. So let me know what books you read in January, what your favorite was, what kind of stuff you were reading, and what you really enjoyed in the comments down below, and anything that I should be reading / getting excited for in February. Yeah, I think that's it. Check me out on social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, and Goodreads as RoyReadingCo. That time it was really smooth, guys. I nailed that. Yeah, and make sure you subscribe to the channel before you leave if you haven't already, so you can see some more of my fun videos that I've got. I've got a couple more this week. And yeah, I will see you all soon for another one. I'm checking out my schedule right now. We got some things going on. But I will see you guys soon for another one. Have a great week, guys. Happy reading.